This is the sixth generation of BMW's ultimate sedan, the M5. And even though it doesn't look radically different than the car it replaces, this new M5 has a lot going on for it. And it's blue. Marina Bay Blue Metallic, to be precise. It's currently the fastest production BMW on sale, and with that, it also brings a couple of firsts to the M5 lineup. It's the first ever M5 to feature all-wheel drive, and at the same time, it's also the first M5 to be exclusively offered with just an automatic transmission. So if you're an old-school BMW fan, you might not really like these changes, but if you're an M5 customer, I'm pretty sure you'll be happy with them. So let's just jump right into the part you're all most interested about, the performance side of things. This is an M car at the end of the day, so let's start with the engine. This is a development of the S63 unit you can find in the old F10 M5 30R edition. Both turbochargers have been revised, and so were the exhaust manifolds. The cooling systems have been upgraded, and a new race specification oil pump has been added. And all these changes allow this 4.4 twin-turbo V8 petrol engine to produce 600 horsepower and 750 Newton meters of torque. But get this, the people at IND Distribution took their own M5 and put it on a dyno test. And the real-life figures seem to suggest that this car is capable of producing, as near as makes no difference, 700 horsepower and 900 Newton meters of torque. That's incredible, and if you want more details on this, I'll link their video in the description below so you can watch and see the full dyno results. But anyway, back to this car. It can reach 100 kilometers per hour from standstill in just 3.4 seconds, and I don't know if that figure tells you much, but this 2-ton executive sedan is faster than a track-focused M4 GTS. Unfortunately, the M5 is missing the proper M car stance its smaller brothers have, but don't worry, because underneath this beautiful paint job, this car went through a lot of changes. It has stiffer anti-roll bars, new toe links, and firmer rubber mounts. Over the rear axle, BMW added an additional strut and an aluminum cross brace to improve rigidity. There are also new strut braces under the hood, designed to increase front-end rigidity and to help with turning. Also, the double wishbone front and multi-link rear suspensions have been completely redesigned for this new M5. The car comes as standard with 19-inch alloy wheels, but they're a bit too small for such a big car and not that good looking. These optional 20-inch wheels work much better with the car in my opinion, but they're not that great either. But I guess it all comes down to taste, right? The brakes on this particular car are the optional carbon ceramic ones, and you can tell that because of the yellow brake caliper. But as standard, the new M5 comes with regular steel brakes. And in my opinion, that's quite enough, because I don't really see too many M5 owners tracking their 150,000 euro luxury sedan. And the last thing we're going to talk about while we're on the outside of the new M5 is the xDrive, the new all-wheel drive system specially developed for the M5, which, unlike most all-wheel drive systems, has 3 modes you can drive in. There's the regular 4-wheel drive mode, which is rear biased, as with all all-wheel drive BMWs. Then there's 4-wheel drive Sport, which is even more rear biased. And then there's 2-wheel drive mode, which sends 100% of the power to the rear wheels. Now, before you get too excited, you have to know that the 2-wheel drive mode in this car can only be activated with DSC off. That's BMW's traction control. And I don't know about you, but I'm not really curious to find out how a 600 horsepower rear-wheel drive sedan with no traction control feels like on the road. I'd try that on the track, but on the road, I'm not so sure. But that's it for the exterior. Let's jump inside. Now, if you've previously sat in a current 5 Series before, this new M5 interior won't offer too many surprises for you. Except for the 2 buttons on the steering wheel, the red starter button, these gorgeous seats, and this new shift lever, Everything is similar to the regular 5 Series. So I guess BMW decided to play the card that says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So let's talk about the new stuff and start with these seats. They are gorgeous to look at, they feel very comfortable, and they have very good side support. Plus the leather feels awesome to touch, and we can't really talk about these seats without mentioning the illuminated M5 logo on it. How cool is that? Then we have the new shift lever, which reminds me of something, but as this is a family-friendly vlog, I'd rather not talk about it. And from what I can see, the shift lever works just the same as in any other M car. But a thing I forgot to mention while we were talking about the outside of the car is the fact that this new M5 now comes with an 8-speed ZF automatic transmission instead of the old double clutch. And finally, the lever also features shift aggression toggles mounted right on top of it, which is quite cool if you ask me, and it also helps to clear some of the clutter from the central console. And talking about the central console, let's all take a minute and thank the car gods for finally convincing BMW to add an independent exhaust button. Finally! And now onto the M1 and M2 buttons, which were previously located right here on the left side of the steering wheel, but now they have their own place next to the shift pedals. And for those of you who aren't really familiar with M cars, the M1 and M2 buttons are basically user-defined profiles. What do I mean by that? Well, you can fiddle with the engine setting, the suspension and the steering down here, and once you're happy with those settings, you can just save them to one of the two buttons here. And when you jump into the car a couple of days later, instead of fiddling with all these settings again, you just press the button you've stored them on, and there you go. The settings are just there. So in short, these two buttons are custom driving profiles. Highly useful stuff if you ask me. And let's see if we've covered everything. Oh yeah, there's also an M5 specific instrument cluster and an M5 specific head-up display. And that's about it, my friends. This is the new M5. Let me know what you think about this car in the comments section below. I personally wasn't a big fan of the car when I first saw the pictures of it. I thought it looks kind of tame for a 600 horsepower M car. It didn't really have the proper M stance, if there is such a thing, and I wasn't really a big fan of the wheels either. But it's starting to grow on me. Slowly but surely, I'm starting to like this car. And I'm really looking forward to driving it because I'm sure that's where this car actually shines. So make sure you're subscribed and you have notifications turned on, because my friends at Bavaria Solna are going to register an M5 for the road, and for some reason they're actually going to let me drive it and film a bunch more videos with it. So there you go. If you enjoyed this video, my friends, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to Cartoon for a lot more content to come, and until next time, take good care of yourselves and I'll see you around.